I hope you can listen. Tolkien to Star Trek, fictional languages you can learn. Throughout his life, the Lord of the Rings author J.R.R. Tolkien was sometimes hard speaking, what may have sounded like gibberish. But Tolkien wasn't just a writer, he was also a linguist, and he wasn't speaking gibberish. He was speaking languages he invented. Tolkien is believed to have been among the first to create Conlag, a constructed language, and two of his Middle-earth languages, Quenya and Sindarin, are developed well enough to learn like English, French, or any other language, really. Here are some more conglats you can learn. Klingon. Klingon was invented by linguist Mark Okrand for Star Trek in 1985. Okrand released a Klingon dictionary describing the language and its grammar rules. Many more books have been published about the Klingon since then by Okrand and others, and some famous works have been translated into the language, like Shakespeare's Hamlet. Klingon is the most spoken Conlag according to Guinness World Records, although the exact number of speakers isn't known. Dothraki. In his A Song of Ice and Fire books, George R. Martin included just a few words in the language of Dothraki people. But for the TV show Game of Thrones, linguist David Peterson took those words and developed them into a complete Dothraki language. Peterson's 2014 Living Language Dothraki is a language guide which also includes exercises for self-practice. Navi. Director James Cameron asked linguist Paul Frommer to create a language for the Navi people in his 2009 movie Avatar. Cameron had an idea of what he wanted the alien language sound like and wrote about 30 words before asking Frommer to develop the language fully. Navi has since been developed even more. It was used in the 2022 sequel, The Way of Water, and the Navi Sign Language was being created too. Questions. What is the most spoken constructed language in the world? Did George R. Martin create the Dothraki language? Who created Navi? Discussion. Which of the languages mentioned in the article would you like to learn? How difficult do you imagine it would be to invent a language? Do you find it surprising that the Klingon is the most spoken Conlag? Do you know any fans of the books, movies, or series mentioned in the article? Are you into science fiction and fantasy? What stories would you recommend? Further discussion. In your opinion, what languages sound the most beautiful? What languages would you most like to be fluent in? What do you imagine foreigners find most difficult about your language? What languages do you think you'd have a particularly hard time learning? Learning a foreign language is the closest thing there is to having a superpower. Haha, no. What are your thoughts on this statement? And I'm in the Netherlands. Not, just kidding.